Hello and welcome. My name's Elle. I'm from the Lucy Rose Clinic. And I'm really glad you're here today on this live because I'm talking about something that's quite close to my heart, mainly because I see it in the clinic over and over again. And I think it's probably one of the most under-recognized things happening to women right now, and that is anxiety. So the racing of your heart, shortness of breath, or that, sick feeling in your stomach that it doesn't feel great and you feel on edge, but you can't really explain why you feel that way. Or if you've been given an anxiety diagnosis, on medication for anxiety, and something, just doesn't feel right. Because in so many cases, what's being labelled as anxiety is actually a hormonal and physiological issue, which is often involving the thyroid that's being completely overseen. So let's talk about what's actually happening. Your thyroid hormones affect nearly every system, including your nervous system. So when your thyroid hormones are imbalanced, and I want to stress that this can go in both directions, they directly affect how calm or activated your nervous system feels. Hyperthyroidism, which is too much thyroid hormone, causes that classic, anxious state. The racing heart and heat intolerance, rapid thoughts, trouble sleeping. And this often just gets diagnosed as anxiety or a panic disorder. But here's what surprises people. Hypothyroidism, which is too little thyroid hormone, can also cause anxiety, especially when it's driven by Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune thyroid condition where the thyroid will swing between over and under reactive. That roller coaster, is very destabilizing for the nervous system and doesn't feel great at all. Then there's something called RT3 dominance, reverse T3, where your body is making plenty of thyroid hormone but converting it into an inactive form instead of the active T3. You feel hypothyroid, foggy, tired, but you're also wired and anxious because your body's under stress. The adrenals are almost always part of this picture too. Your cortisol, your stress hormone, constant feedback loop with the thyroid function. High cortisol blocks T3 from getting into your cells, so chronic stress, and then it makes the thyroid function worse. So ultimately putting you back into that more anxious state again. And it's just a constant loop. So I want to ask, has anyone here been told, that they have anxiety, or they've been offered antidepressants really quick off the bat and, felt like something was just missed? I mean, leave a comment below if that's been you, because I'd love to hear from you, because I feel like it really happens way too much. And it doesn't need to, So standard anxiety screening doesn't look at your hormones, and standard thyroid screening, the TSH test, often misses what we're talking about. So what we look at in your thorough thyroid assessment includes free T3, free T4, reverse T3, thyroid antibodies like TPO and TGAB, or tongue twisters, plus cortisol and adrenal function. So the combination of these markers gives you a completely different picture to a single TSH number. So I've had patients who are on antidepressants for like years even, that have finally got a full panel done with us, and we found high thyroid antibodies, low T3, elevated reverse T3. And then when we addressed the thyroid, the anxiety lifted. It wasn't gone necessarily overnight, but it lifted in a way that no medication had done. So the good news is, if you're experiencing anxiety, whether it's a recent diagnosis or something you've lived with for years, here's what I would consider. Here's what I'd want you to consider. So ask your doctor or practitioner to run a full thyroid panel, not just TSH. Include free T3, free T4, reverse T3, and TPO antibodies. Track your symptoms, do they fluctuate? Are there times when you feel more hyper and then others when you're crashing? Because the swing pattern is very suggestive of Hashimoto's. And then look at your lifestyle factors. So sleep, stress, caffeine, blood sugar stability. All of these either support or undermine your thyroid and adrenal function. So this is not about dismissing your mental health, because I really don't want that. It's about making sure your physical drivers have been properly investigated before you're locked into a, mental health diagnosis. If you want to find out whether your thyroid could be part of an anxiety picture, we here at the clinic offer a comprehensive assessment. We take a full history, we run the panels that actually matter, and we look at you as a whole person, not just a symptom checklist. The link's in the comments. It's the lucyroseclinic.com.au. Please reach out. It doesn't have to be, years of struggle or years of feeling anxious. Book a call. Let's have a proper conversation. Share this with anyone that you think of. And, people are suffering unnecessarily, and they don't have to. So thanks so much again for listening to the live. Leave comments, support, questions, anything below, and please check it out.